G'day folks, welcome to Big V TV pre-season, and we are heading down the southwest coast.
To the Ark.
Mate, Whale Town.
Yeah.
Get down there. Would it be whale season at the moment? Whale Bar? Would it be whale season at the moment?
You do great. Do it again.
You do that very, very well. There's some very, very good basketballers down there as well. The Warrnambool Seahawks and the Warrnambool Mermaids.
Yes.
Last time we spoke to you, they were gone. They're back. Thank heavens for that. We love them in the competition. We'll talk more about the Mermaids right now, in fact. Let's talk about the Mermaids first. Yeah, we will.
Okay.
What do we know about the Mermaids? We do know that heading into Christmas, they were not going to be in the competition.
That's right.
This is like league news, isn't it?
Things have changed.
Things have changed significantly.
Tell us what's happened.
Well, most of the team retired. I feel like the pressure's on.
Yep.
Just about everyone retired. No coach, no support. So pretty much the team was pulled out a couple of weeks ago.
Wait, so when you say support, are we talking sponsors, fans,
No, we're
members,
talking about
staff?
volunteers, administrators, people who put on game nights.
But weren't they already there if the men's team were in there? Or they felt like they'd lost a lot, they needed to replenish.
Yeah. So they made contact a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
Said that we've got a really solid committed playing group. We've got some people who want to help out around the club. Is there any possibility? And I said, look, we'll never close the door on a country team,
Yeah,
specifically a country women's team.
Yep.
Although it's incredibly late and we've already put out a draft fixture.
Oh boy.
But anyway, we had a look at it and we found that really we could accommodate it relatively easily with minimal disruption to the other clubs. And I must say the other clubs have been fantastic.
That really needs to be pointed out, that the other clubs have given some ground in terms of changing their season around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But look, there are limits around their playing list as well, because Warrnambool are the two-time reigning champs in Div 1. This team's been put into Div 2, and it is very much a development team. We've actually limited their roster. There are people that they cannot register. And
so we know that Katie Sewell retired. We know that Darcy Saunders probably hasn't retired from basketball, but certainly not playing least this season. We know that Holly Green not playing.
Yes.
We know that Katie O'Keefe is not playing, but
coaching.
She is coaching this team.
I love this story. I think.
And that is an exciting proposition for these young girls down there at the Mermaids. They do have some good young players that formed the next part of their squad last season.
I think Cal's got it.
Yep, we've got a couple of the younger girls here. Maggie Baker and Olivia Kruger. They're both 17-year-old girls, as well as Annie Blackburn, who's 16.
Can't play any.
They were part of the team, and now they'll make up the guts of the team. They've called it Generation Next in the Warrnambool standard. So yeah, interesting to see how they go.
So where do we think they're going to finish this season? It's a bit of an unknown right now because we don't know that next tier.
No.
Look, some of those juniors that they've got, I think, have played in the country state team. And they're going to be athletic.
Well drilled.
Div 2 is not an overly fast competition, so if they can play sort of a fast up-tempo style, I think it'll be okay. Do I think they're going to make finals? Probably not. It's a big step for them. It's going to be their first year in senior basketball. I don't know.
The one thing that they will struggle with, these young kids, especially in D2 women, is the physicality. That's going to knock them around a fair bit, and it may just be that they get into the second half of the season, and with a lot of young players, they tend to drop off.
Or will they be better in the second half because they would have taken the first half to get used to the contact, and then they'll be conditioned.
And we mentioned Katie O'Keefe. Let's not downplay how exciting that is. She's played WNBL. She's won an MVP, won championships down there. For her to then put back and recognise that the team was going to pull out. What are those girls going to do? Where are they going to go? And for her to put her hand up to say, I'm going to take this bunch of 16 and 17-year-olds through into the Big V still. I think that's such a good story, and good on her. It shows what type of person she is.
Well, she's come from coaching heritage. Her dad coached the team for how long?
I think it's great.
Fantastic.
To bring the next bunch of players through. This could actually end up being, even though we don't have their Div 1 side, this could actually end up being long-term a really good thing for the club.
Division 2 women will be a lot stronger this season than last season. For mine, they missed the finals. And the only reason I say that right now is because I know bugger all about them. I just don't know. I know they've got some good young kids that were that next tier last season, and they can play. They can flat out play. It's just a case of what they now put around those players. They're very well led. Katie O'Keefe knows her basketball.
She does.
don't know enough about them to be able to sit here and go, oh yeah, they'll make top four.
And even if they don't, I don't think it'll be a failed year. They'll be looking for that in the following years. But for right now, it's a rebuilding year.
Well, let's put it this way: they're in a lot better position down there. Basketball is in a lot better position down there right now than it was 4 weeks ago.
Absolutely.
And that's a win.
Yeah.
Let's move over to the Seahawks last season. 11-11. They finished 5th. They had some good times. They had some really disappointing games at times as well, and they would recognise that.
They've been a good team for a long time.
Yeah,
They have.
It's been since they missed finals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been
that's
a while.
right.
Yeah.
Felt like,
One thing that we know about the Seahawks is you head down there to Whale Bay.
The hardest place to play.
It is one of the toughest
Not just
places.
in Division 1, but in the league.
Really hard to get wins down there, and I think with what they've done, and we'll go through it now, I think they're going to have to be exceptionally good at home this season.
and when you've got 500 or 600 people, cheering for you, it does help.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think they'll be okay. We don't really know. We know Tim Gainey is going to be a player coach again. I think he's joint coach with Rebel Nota.
Rebel Nota, I think, might be helping him out on the sidelines. No, don't know too much about him. The major sponsors down there, KFC. We'll know more about new players, I think, probably leading just up to the start of
They
the
do
season.
take their time down there.
Well, you've also got university.
You've got to
Yes,
wait and see
that sort of
their
stuff.
placement
Yep,
and who they're
absolutely.
gonna pick up.
Beth, what we do know is some players are gone.
Definitely. Jake Spruan off to Sherbrooke State Champ Men. Dion Smith off to Geelong. Kurt Smith to footy. There's lots of footy.
What stadium they play out of? That's a joke. Keep going.
Jackson Green. Work commitments. Cam Mitchell heading back down to the US.
Sure.
Yeah, he's already
and he's going back to do some teaching and stuff in America, which is kind of cool.
teaching and coaching.
He's a big loss. He's a big loss.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, double.
And I didn't mean to steer you down the wrong path then, but when you mentioned footy, there's actually a lot of players who can play basketball in the country, and you do lose them at times to that cross sport. We saw Bobby Cunningham go away and play footy a few years ago as well. Not sure he had a great time doing it. Jason Reardon's done it in the past as well, so it definitely happens down there. Cameron Mitchell's a big loss.
Massive.
They have to recruit a seriously good front-line leading player to replace the Greenlander.
I don't actually reckon that's going to be their biggest problem, because I think Tim Gainey has really good contacts with imports.
He
I
does.
think there's no chance that if they get an import, the guy's going to be able to flat out play. I think, the loss of people like Jake Spruan, sort of the next lot of, the core of their Aussie guys, with some of them guys moving on, it's easy to go out, not easy, but it's easier to go out and replace an import. But if you don't have that sort of next lot of Australian talent that's moving through, that's where you're maybe going to drop down, the list a bit. So, I don't know if they're going to make finals.
I don't think they will.
No.
I think they're really going to struggle.
Yeah.
They're just going to be a bit thin.
Yeah.
Thin.
Yeah, their
Like,
starting five will be competitive, but they won't have a lot
and
to do.
the Jackson Green, Kurt Smith, Dion Smith, who's sort of like the
Jake
glue,
Sobey.
and Jake Sobey, like the glue guys, and missing those, they'll realise how much you miss them.
What I will say is it's very, very rare that Warrnambool are uncompetitive, especially at home.
big.
So I'm telling you now, if there's one thing they've got as an ace up their sleeve, is they are going to be red hot and competitive at home. They're going to need to be, and they're going to need to win home games in order to make up what could be a few tough road trips.
Here's my tip. I think that 2013 will definitely be a struggling season. I think they'll finish near the bottom, if not on the bottom of the conference. And I think we'll see them apply for Div 2 the next year to rebuild with the next group of kids coming through.
Similar to the winners.
Exactly, because they're not getting the kids through at the moment.
So what we're saying, no finals for Warrnambool this season. Down at Whale Bay, we wish them all the best of luck.
We do.
The Seahawks, and it's great to have the Mermaids, we say back in the competition. They were there in the competition last season.
They definitely left.
They had a mini hiatus for a little while, but
Warrnambool gets the biggest crowds in the league.
Definitely.
Make sure you stick by your teams this year.
that's the big thing,
absolutely.
stick with them.
Absolutely. You've got to, if you don't get behind your team, you're going to find that they mightn't be there. So
Yep, get behind them,
Get down
support them. There's the Seahawks and the Mermaids. Big VTV. It's pre-season. More clubs coming up shortly.